Welcome, my friends, to Frostpunk 2 Early Access. This is the sequel to the now acclaimed survival city builder Frostpunk, where we play in an alternate history industrial revolution caused ice age. This was a genuine fear of people in the industrial revolution, that the amount and type of pollution was going to cause severe planetary cooling. Now we got to play around with the what if that actually happened, and it is a frozen hellscape out there. Oh, this is a very limited version of the game that we're able to play around with here in early access, but we should still get a great idea of what the features of the final game are going to contain. It's called the Utopia Builder Preview. Are we going to be able to create paradise here in the frozen wasteland? Probably not. My goal is just that we can keep humanity from all freezing to death. I have played the first game all the way through actually somewhat recently, so hopefully we're able to pick things up pretty quickly, but also they have gone for major departures here in this sequel game. I'm not going to talk too nitty-gritty on what all the comparisons are, but on the grand scale, instead of just building every single little road and placing every single little building like this, right here was basically the extent of your city in Frostpunk 1. And now we get to play with a map like this. There's going to be multiple maps in the main game. Right now we only have one map to be able to play around with, and we need to be able to begin, as I roll time here, by accessing coal to keep that generator going. The all-important beating hot of warmth here in the frozen land. So we have a portion of land out here that's permafrost. It's frozen to the point that it's not open for construction. So you have to frost break to be able to open up new areas for your city, and you can kind of push the boundaries out in that way. So we're going to need to extend our range to be able to build any extraction districts here. And so instead of building individual buildings now, we deal on a bit broader scale of setting up districts, and we can fill in specialized buildings and like improvement buildings within those districts. And it's kind of a hex grid on how you fill in all the actual districts, which I think we want a housing district to begin working while we are breaking this up. And if we're able to, you get adjacency bonuses for having districts next to each other, which is really fun to be able to play around with. And I think a housing district kind of squeezed in here on the corner of this position could be excellent for us, could be absolutely excellent for us. And there we are. So being next to the central district with that core heater is able to give a heating bonus to the housing, which is very important, but is less important for something like an extraction district, which we're going to put out here. So the different districts we have currently available, there are more: industrial, extraction, food, housing. That covers the basics. Let's see how that goes. You can also build an air transport hub, being able to get workforce of the neighboring districts quicker. We can that feels a little utopian to me, to be able to set up some fast travel like that. Get me back in. We've frostbroken the area, so it's going to be quickly time to set up the extraction. Whole district is right around this one little tiny coal hub, and then they auto build the road in, so you get this. I kind of like that level of planning rather than the severe micromanaging power gaming of some of the other city builders. Not that I think the first game suffered from that. First game I felt like also had a decent balance. We should take stock, let's slow time down again, of our resources and see what else has changed here. We've got our cores, our heat stamps. So heat stamps is just money. That's what they call money. It's actually kind of funny. Heat stamps are the currency used in the city. Originally literal stamps redeemable for a fixed quantity of heat. They now function as a universal means of exchange. So instead of like banknotes for gold, they had heat stamps, and now they've split them away. As soon as you leave the heat standard, you know that the economy is going to go downhill, right? We know this. But once we get shelter here, are you done? You are done. And I still don't have a surplus. Ooh, we need to build more housing, it seems. We do have a surplus of food. Here are our materials. There are our goods. So goods are kind of higher level refinement of materials. They define it as kind of what people need to live every day. And so population will have demands. And then I'm not sure if you actually have the options of, in some of like the Anno games, where you're going to have higher levels. So you have like a citizen and a patron and, you know, people who would demand higher quality goods. Probably there will be plenty of things. There's a lot of social engineering that the first game tinkered with, and this game leans all the way into. We're going to have to get the foundation set up before we can even worry about any of that, such as this supply of coal. All right, come on. Shelter from the cold. We will provide shelter because now we have this going. Construct 2 houses. Yeah, they want us to build another district. Okay. Let's get this housing district, and now because we can have a double adjacency bonus, generator proximity and nearby housing. So being next to housing and the generator, we are gonna be able to build a super district. Very limited spacing. I want to extend this way, I think. One more. I wonder how many open spaces like right around the core generator are important, because you could theoretically build a ton of like spokes of a wheel to touch it in as many places as possible. So let's go ahead and build this wonky shape. I'm sure this always happens to me. I start one of these, I quickly, like after about 2 hours, I learn a bunch. I hate what I did in the beginning and I just restart. We are somewhat limited in the scope of this early, so I'll probably do a couple runs of this. And if you're interested in seeing all of them, then let me know here on the channel. Like, comment, that really helps promote this out and lets me know what to do next. Security for the future. We are extracting more coal than we currently need. We've begun stockpiling the surplus. So this is saying that we can expand, and so here we get to go to construct buildings, a depot. So based on where it is constructed, it would be able to be focused for different material types to expand our stockpiles, but as we can see for coal, we've got 6,000 units of 30,000 potential. We don't need to have any more space for that. Some more space for food? No, but we are spending. We're going to run out of food in 41 weeks. Okay. We probably need to start balancing out all the districts, honestly. We can get additional materials from the frozen forests. We do have a spot of fertile ground for food. Whatever that means in this world, I'll take it. I think I'd really love to expand this to pick up some of these. Like, look, it's so much more dense up here, so many more resource. I guess it's just like larger base stockpiles. I know you can also expand districts. Like if I click this, I can expand the district to add 3 more spaces. So there's a world where I start here, and then in 3 spaces, hang on. All right, the power gamer in me is already coming out, guys. This is gonna be a game I'm gonna love. I can already tell. Let's just do this to make sure that we can get an expansive supply. 2 more. I'm probably gonna run this a couple times, hey? Do this. Do this. Okay. Frost breaking. We're part of the frost breakers. What? Oh, there it is. Yes. Huge machines breaking down the ice. I love it. Housing is on its way. How many? Okay, so I have 571 heat stamps. Nice. This is about to build. I'm going to pace myself a little bit and make sure. Okay, we got the heat. Here we go. Okay, so the political structure has been introduced. I have played a little bit to make sure that I'm not going to fumble with the camera controls, and I got the core concepts down, but I have not seen even the midway point of what is available. So we have our foragers. Let's pause time again, and we have the machinists. And I love that the UI is gradually going to complicate and build here. So these are the political spectrum. The foragers are... Do I get a... You are focused all on adaptation. Fighting the cold is futile. Versus the machinists with technology. We will build machines to carve out our place in ice. So either, you know, become a native or go all technology here. So they'll likely be opposed on almost everything. And right now, machinists actually hold a majority. Slim but true, 51%. Okay, select an existing housing district and expand it. All right, perfect. Build a research institute, research coal mines, and construct the newly researched district. I bet that's going to cost me a lot of heat stamps. Let's expand this one, our first housing district, because the other one is butting up against where we want to position the food district. So we'll get this expansion going. We should probably get that food district right now, actually. Just so that we get some food income. All right. Oh, yes, warmth share. Whoa, additional adjacency bonuses. Perfect. Let's, given that both of these might want to expand, I guess I'll go this way. As long as it includes that one resource tile, I think the whole district is good to go. And then our final thing, oh, I guess it's not our final thing, but we need an extraction district for wood or materials. It's a little bit of an abstraction. Oh, yes. It's so rich and there's space to expand. I think in 3 tiles I might be able to get to this one as well, so that's fantastic. But one other thing would be goods, which it feels weird to me that maybe I should not have been ignoring this to this amount. We have a significant unfulfilled desire of goods by forgers, and the machinist wants just a little bit more. That makes sense. I'm actually surprised they don't want a lot more, given their ideologies. I feel like the forgers should be just making their own goods a little more often, but who am I to say? Let's go ahead and build you. Now, what adjacent? Ah, shared workers. Okay, okay. So I want you to border extraction. You do not. You actually have you have a penalty to dense housing. Gosh, the city planning here is so cool. And a penalty to, I don't know what that is. That red definitely is a penalty. I'm not sure exactly what the iconography is, but that's a warning that this is a very bad spot to put it. So we'll go out here, which seems to be the perfect spot to put it. Do I get additional bonuses per number of spaces? I probably do. Okay, we take it back. We will frost break a new border for us. Is there anything worth building? I guess this is all just going to be open space eventually. And I'm sure that I will not regret opening this area up. He says as he check back in the next episode where I regret it. And I need to construct that in housing the research institute. Wow. Within the dense housing. Oh, we're just building everything. Blowing the stockpiles at the moment. And I'm not even going to satisfy all of our needs. But I'm sure that with some upgrades, technology, maybe I'm going to land. You know, initially I was like, I'm more on the side of the forgers personally, but I don't know. We'll try and walk a fine line. I'm not going to probably roleplay a little more when I'm more familiar with the game, and right now we're just going to try and hold it all together. Definitely power through science is something I do agree with. Frost breaking. It's just fun to say. Give me a new district. Make it an industrial district. Pop. It does. The additional spaces give me additional bonuses. Okay, so that kind of invalidates what I was saying earlier about trying to get wagon spokes connecting to the center. You just want as many spaces together as possible. And I will take all the bonuses I can get. Yeah, wiped out our financial stockpiles. How do I have taxes? How do I make money? We're actually losing money because we're not fulfilling enough goods. Well, I'm working on that as well. We're gaining 15 a week. Okay, gotcha. Tax is calculated on a weekly basis. Having just gone through tax season here in the States, it's too real. Different ideas. A small crowd gathers outside of the Research Institute arguing how to exploit the last coal veins. The machinists want us to lean on machine-powered mining, but forgers would have us pursue more frugal solution. They would never display such discord in the captain's heyday. You have to choose who to entrust with developing their... Okay, if you played the first game, then you are the captain. You are the very dictatorship kind of position where what you say goes and nobody opposes you because you're the only one holding them together. Show me my options here. The idea tree. Okay, I'm excited. Oh, here's the tech tree. I do love a good tech tree. Oh, you zoom in and you zoom out. Okay, brilliant. So coal mines is going to be the important one. So based on how we choose to develop, we're going to show favor to one political faction or the other. What's this? Fuel. Food. Adaptation. Not available in preview. Not available. Okay. But then I have bars down here. Housing block. Fuel. So a lot of this is going to be marked out, but... Oh, yes. Hospital seems very important. That was a core in the first game. I'm imagining it's still pretty darn core here. Housing blocks. But this is not what I want to look at. I want to look at the coal mines, right? Take me here. Take me to coal mines. Let's make our decision. The foragers would promote a dust coal mine. Mining operations where residue coal dust is sucked up and compressed into bricks to make maximum use of resources. Briquettes. Additional workforce requirement, additional coal output. So I believe this is not an upgrade to the district. This is like, it itself is going to make 150, and that's on top of whatever the district is producing. Disease is slightly increased. Yeah, all the coal dust, I could imagine. And additional material demands. Okay. Machinist, what do you propose? Grinding coal mine. Operation using grinding machines to churn through coal seams quickly, leaving heaps of slag behind. Additional output. Squalor is increased. That's probably if you build an industrial zone next to housing, you increase squalor, which is filth, grime, and pollution present in the city. It is produced by the generator, heavy machinery, and poor sanitation. Makes sense. Squalor increases sickness, slows population growth, and wears down districts. So, the downside of you is sickness. The downside of you is squalor causing sickness and everything else. Now, is that only if, like, I build houses nearby, or is that just, like, inherent? I mean, we're going to imagine that it's inherent, and then I might as well just take this, which is going to directly promote disease, but it's still... I just like this overall. It's also significantly fewer material demands, and right now my material production is not very high. I do need to remember that, like, in the first game, money didn't exist. You just built off of resources. Now you use resources to, like, maintain stuff, but you use money to build new stuff. So there's a little more of a balance, a little more complication, but I would still do this. Develop the idea. So we're citing foragers, even though at 2%, would you say a 1% minority or a 2% minority? I assume you'd say a 2% minority because it's 51 to 49. Crime. Minor, and it is stable. Extremely increased by the goods scarcity. I'm working on it, okay? Hey now. We just started here. Look at us. The city is like quadrupled in size just immediately. Give me a break. Decreased by guard squads. I have guard squads surplus available. There's 12 of them. Where are you guys? What are you doing? Are you these little... I think this is like individual... In the first game, you could like even click on individual people. Now, no chance. You get these little heat trails. They're speeding about their day. Also, the day-night cycle is like a bit... Like, this is zooming so far out from the first game. It is obviously recognizable because the Frostpunk aesthetic is going to be immediately recognizable, but in terms of minute-to-minute gameplay, we are in a whole different league. We research this in 12 weeks, and then we build it, and we progress. And then we have to decide, I mean, what are we going to... Oh, this is cool, look at this. It goes, like, under the frozen forest. Like, all of this snowbank drifting over the road. One of the cool things in the first game is that as your people would like just have to walk out to get resources, they'd gradually build tracks, and then the snow would like fill them in, and they'd have to walk through the deep snow again. It's just something immediately charming about the first game, and I wish it was still here. Maybe it will be in some different way. We got our weather, warmer season. We're gonna get colder and colder, and then back warm. Okay, like we're able to predict things out 120 weeks. Weather service has never been better. Okay. Output of 20 goods demanding 50 materials. So let's take stock here. We still have unfulfilled good needs. We still are spending materials, no surplus. We still are spending food, no surplus, but we're good on shelter and we are good on heat. So we are, no, we're still spending on coal. Okay. We have enough right now of heat, but we need more coal production to really be able to make it, which is what we are focused on at the moment. Let's speed things up and get it, because I mean, we're gonna have to wait for tax income to tick up before we think about any side projects. And they'll probably throw another goal at us that's pretty, you know, straightforward, important. Maybe we've already started. If they're gonna talk about like food next, we'll see. All we need is this research to complete. Oh, little event for us. Stockpiles are depleted of coal. Right. Something, remember when you said about building more containment facilities? Yeah, I think that was a bit of a farce. X3 speed. How far out? Oh, there he is. Oh, I love it. Both in the shelter. So the first game, you had these holes in the ground. They were just your tiny shelters. Okay, pause. I didn't realize time was still going. We got the dust coal mine. But now we're on a much grander scale. We're sheltered by the mountain peaks. It still has to be very cold up here. You have to imagine, like, why didn't we all consolidate around the equator? If you've read the Frostpunk novellas, let me know. District buildings, extraction, dust coal mine. Okay, so that's the one spot I can put it. I believe that you have to expand the districts to get multiple building slots. You might even have to expand them multiple times to get multiple building slots. Does it? This is our generator, right? Is this gonna, oh, it is gonna build. Okay, so like your core kind of build around pieces, they are gonna actually show in the districts. I like that. Ooh, my automatons. So powerful. Oof. It does beg the question. We gotta figure out what we're gonna build next. Let's see. I hate for the research station to stand idle. We got the coal mines. Advanced coal mines. Not available in the preview. Efficiency. Hothouses. Food. Okay, so this... I guess it'll maybe become open later, or when it opens up, it'll say it's not available. I don't know. So we could go sawmills for additional materials. We could go hothouses for, I think, maybe the extra food. Let's take a look. What's going to last longer? Well, that's tough to say, right? Because, well, spending the materials will only last for another 8 weeks. The food will last for another 40 weeks. Maybe I go sawmill, actually. Place to settle differences. With the new mine, we have enough coal to output to last us a while, yet differences between communities remain. Even under the previous leader, plans have existed to establish a council to settle such differences. More pressing problems always delayed them. The time has come, steward. People want to say in how the city is run. We need a council. We do. Democracy. Central. Ooh, this is a new tab, I think. Council hall. Build me the council hall. And what did we say? We actually had enough food stockpiled to last longer than... Let's get the supplies flowing. Sawmills for me. Untreated wood sawmill requires an extraction district with a frozen forest deposit. I obviously have that. Okay, so this one... Are you guys always going to be the same kind of dichotomy? Disease up, squalor... Oh, heat demand. Okay, so it's not. It will be, well... It seems like they're kind of balanced. Like, the foragers are going to increase disease with some reason. The machinists will increase squalor. And then the machinists will produce more, but ask for more. And the foragers will produce less, but again, ask for less. I kind of am siding with the foragers' mentality of, produce less, ask for less, but the machinists, I feel like I need to balance it out. After the previous research was given to the foragers, we don't want to be showing favorites too soon. Build the council hall in the central district, enacting new law through a successful vote in the council. Let's speed it up a tick. We are researching the next project. We're building the objective building. There it is. Council gathers for the first time. We can vote on laws. Take me in. The first council session. People cheer as the gates of the council open. It feels like a piece of the world lost through the frost has been regained. The people are hopeful to have their voices heard. While the machinists and foragers clash about our survival strategy, neither has a firm stance on economic or social issues. However, many in their ranks do, though they keep it to the shadows for now. Interesting. So as we continue, the fanatics may reveal themselves, or they may solidify around certain political platforms. There's the council. So we get like a full political simulator here? All right, the people of the city sent 100 delegates to represent them. Perfect. Your role as steward is to propose laws that will be put to a vote. Okay, so I get to propose the agenda, but then they vote on it. However, communities have different outlook on many things. You may have to negotiate or pressure them to get enough support. I see. Different categories. Looks like I can propose new laws every 10 weeks. I'm imagining you can change laws as well. Nebulous unformed idea. It can become apparent through research or event. No common rules. Okay, so right now we have like very little. We've not thought about these things. Just allowing everybody to live in chaos. A libertarian dream, but... Or maybe, I don't know. It seems like the first game was very Marxist, so... food additives. Goods production efficiency. That could be nice because we were running a small... negative. Goods demand per capita is marginally decreased. Or maybe I just want them to demand less. Durable or mass produced. Fascinating. Economy. Welfare. Basic necessities. Contagion. Outsiders. That's going to affect population. Community service. There's a bunch of different options. Heat stamps, income per capita too. Okay. Society. Funerals. What are the options? There were some crazy things in the first game. Ceremonial funerals, trust loss resulting from deaths is decreased. Harvesting funerals, disease is slightly decreased. Research speed is slightly. There it is. That's the craziness coming up. Childhood rules. Child labor was also a big one in the first game. Percentage of active workers is slightly increased in family apprenticeship or mandatory school. Research speed is slightly increased, but you have to pay for schooling, I'm assuming. So you lose some of your income. I feel like we try and go for something with an immediate impact on the needs of our society, which is going to be food. We did put off... Interesting. So we are low on goods. Food's probably the next project. We could work on foods now if the food district is going to get our next help, or we could help the food district now with the food additives law. I'm going to take the goods law though. And I'm going to propose supported by foragers, supported by, yeah, okay. So mass produced, that makes sense. Machinists like this one. People are divided. Supported by the foragers. Durable goods. Maybe I just want this then. The machinists had like, I imagine the 1% population improvement does not affect the delegate, that you've got to be the 100 delegates. Got to be a little bit farther to actually have a vote advantage. From the slider bars, they look very similar. Let's go durable goods. I propose this. Yes, 37 for, 26 against. 37 hesitant. Interesting. This just feels like it'll pass. People know that we need more goods. We need to vote on this. Action must be taken.
The delegates have
There.
spoken.
That was actually
The
pretty
law
close.
takes effect.
The law takes effect. Let's see. Into the future, a new law has been agreed on. Good. There are challenges ahead. Improving coal extraction is a success, but the vein will only last so long. We need to explore the Frostland for a permanent source of fuel. That's the first step in our colonization effort. The city must not fall. Okay, that's a lot of objectives. Let's look into the future and what we're going to be looking at. Now, this is all part of the different spice and variety you can bring. So there is going to be a story or scenario-driven story kind of campaign that you get to play through in the main game. And then you have this, which is the more open kind of sandboxy city builder on. But you're going to be able to play on multiple different maps to begin with. You're also going to have different political parties that will start in the city. And you will have different end game objectives. So the one available now for us to play with is colonize the Frostland, but I believe there are also 4 other objectives that could all be mixed and matched with different maps. So there's a ton of variety if you really like this kind of city builder and exploring all of the different nooks and crannies of the game's strategy. This is what we're going to call our first episode. Can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Click right here if you want to jump to it, where we move up forward building logistic districts in place of the old waste stations on the city's outskirts, and find a permanent source of fuel outside of our city. Till next time, thank you guys for watching. Come back.